Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how you can surf longer without getting tired by doing paddle simulation training at home. Now this is kind of a revolutionary system because if you asked me 10 years ago, is it possible to stay in shape for surfing out of the water, I would have said no. You've probably heard this before where someone says the only way to stay in shape for surfing is to actually surf. And like I said, I would have agreed with that 10 years ago. But when I was searching for a way to stay in shape because my fitness was going downhill, I asked around. I was asking people, what do I need to do to stay in shape? That's what a lot of people told me. But I wasn't willing to accept that, so I decided to do my own research and create the system myself. So this is for anyone who just wants to surf longer without getting tired, or if you've been surfing for a long time like I had, and you got family, you got kids, and your fitness is going downhill, but you don't want to choose between your career and your passion or the well-being of your financial situation and taking care of your kids and your passion, you can have them all. All you got to have is 20 minutes a day doing paddle simulation training. And the simulation part is what's really important here, because you know that if you go surfing for a few days in a row, your paddle strength gets better noticeably really quick after a couple of days. But the flip side, it gets weaker if you miss a few days like in a row. So if you're only surfing on the weekends, you're kind of up and down, back and forth, just kind of not really gaining, you know what I'm saying? So what we do is we simulate the paddle stroke exactly with a few accelerators built on top of it. So it's actually, you get better results than if you were actually out there just paddling, because we add breath training and a little bit extra resistance. So I'll show you exactly how these work. So we got these paddle bands here, and it comes with door anchors. They look just like this. So if you see this thing, it's a foam stopper. You close that in your door, and this is a loop, and you hook the bands in there, and it pulls tight. So all you need is a door, and you can anchor these. I have a permanent anchor here in my gym, but this is what you'll be using when you get these bands. So first of all, these bands that we selected, we've tested lots of different resistances. So we decided that we wanted to simulate the resistance of the water plus a few extra pounds, because if you use too much resistance, you put on too much mass, it'll kill your endurance. If you use too little, you'll just waste your time. So we found that this is the correct weight plus a few extra pounds, so you can get the best use of your time. So you're building your muscles for endurance, you're hitting that endurance range, and you are making the best use of your time, like I said. So important things to note here: when you hook them up to the top hinge, so they're up a little bit higher, and some technical things about your paddling technique that you want to get right. So you want to be correcting your paddle posture while you're building your muscles. So it's important when you're doing your paddle workout that you get low, so you keep your head up and your shoulders back, right? Because you can always tell when someone's tired or if they're a new surfer because they're lying flat face out on their board, right? And they're just barely getting by. So it's important, like I said, keep your head and chest up, back, and you're paddling like this, not head down, not like that. So it's up. So you're building your posture as well as your paddle muscles. It's also important to know why simulation training is important, because there's so much to do. So there's so many different muscles that you use with paddle strength. And when I was first asking around before the system was ever in existence, people would say things like, all you gotta do is push-ups, all you gotta do is pull-ups. Well, that's a huge mistake, because a pull-up, for instance, gets your back muscles, but it's a bicep workout. Whereas in a paddle stroke, it's a tricep workout, because it's a static hold for your tricep against the resistance of the water. So you're holding your arm straight, and you even push through a little bit. So you're missing the tricep. The push-up gets that too, but it doesn't do the entire motion, right? So there's so many things with the resistance of the water. You gotta have grip strength to keep your hand cupped, your fingers together. You gotta have wrist strength to keep that. You gotta have the tricep strength. You gotta have shoulder, triceps, back, core to keep your posture up. So there's so many different things. If you were to isolate each individual muscle and do workout for that, it would take 10 times as long, probably more. So you hit every single muscle in the right way by doing simulation training. So that's super important. Now the next part is breath training, because surfing is an endurance sport, but it's an endurance sport where you're forced to hold your breath over and over. So you don't know how long you're gonna hold your breath, how often, and for how long. So you got to be prepared to operate on low levels of oxygen. So we talk about oxygen efficiency all the time. There's lots of different ways to incorporate breath training into workouts, especially paddle training. I can't cover them all here, but I'll cover the biggest one, which is low oxygen training. To oversimplify this, it's not, I'll just explain that it's holding your breath on an exhale. The bottom of your exhale, holding your breath, and then working out. So you're depleted of oxygen and you're pushing your body through. So you're exercising, you're burning energy, you're burning fuel when the oxygen is all gone. That causes your body to adapt, makes you more efficient with oxygen. Oxygen efficiency can simply be described as doing more with less. So you can recover faster. So if you paddle out past the break and you really give it, and then a set comes right away, you'll be able to gather yourself. So you'll need less time to rest. Where if, for example, you get up past the break, you have to sit out there for 10 minutes to rest. Now you probably need only 10 seconds. This is something I can demonstrate in my own life. It's one of the biggest things. So that increases wave frequency, so more waves per hour with less rest time. Makes sense? Same with long hold downs too. If you held down a long time, you're able to stay calm, but you're also able to gather yourself quicker. So that has a lot to do with emotional control as well, because when you have more oxygen, or you can be able to make it go farther, so important. So breath training is really important. And the third one, and this one can't be overstated. This is so important. It doesn't matter if you get those things right. If you don't get number 3 right, it'll be a waste. And I'm talking about consistency. And when we're talking about consistency, convenience goes hand in hand with it, because you got to do this, like I said. So if you don't surf for a few days in a row, you notice your paddle strength going away, right? So it's important to do these workouts very often. That's why having it at home is so powerful, because you can literally throw in some Netflix and do a quick paddle workout. And our system has 2 sides. There's the grow stage and the maintain stage. The grow stage was where you can take your paddle strength from 0 to 100 in a short period of time. We like to say that you could double the amount of waves you catch in 60 days. Really, it should be less than that. It should be about a month. You should really be able to double the amount of time you can surf in the water by doing this. That's the power of consistency. Now, so if you invest a lot of time on the front, it'll change your surfing forever. But you don't want to get on that wrong side of adaptation. You don't want to start to decline once you've done all that work, right? So the maintain stage is really quick workouts which trigger a response in your body, because you're sending the work signals to your muscles to tell them not to atrophy. But it only takes about 1/8 the time. So you don't do a full workout, you just do a little trigger session just to give you a jolt so you don't lose those muscles, so you maintain them over time. So if you get busy, life happens, right? Kids, work, whatever it may be. Or if you have like seriously 2 to 5 minutes a day just to get a quick one, and having this at home will really help you maintain that, so you don't lose any of that stuff that you gain. The really valuable thing about all this is, like I said before, everyone would always say, you've probably heard this, the only way to stay in shape for surfing is to actually surf. So for a lot of people, that's a death sentence for your passion. So one of the best parts about doing this is helping people who've been lifelong surfers who lost it. So you can have it all, right? So you can have great surfing, and you can extend your surfer career by years. A lot of people, when they see their health decline, they get short bursts of motivation and willpower, and they're like, I'm gonna get back in shape. Looks good for a week, maybe 2, and then you fall off, right? Because you're relying on willpower to push you. But willpower is a finite resource, and it runs out. But when you have surfing, when you have that passion, that pulls you. So you don't have to push yourself to work out, because you know there's an emotional reward of catching great waves. So it fuels your workouts, and you get on this flywheel where you're going round and round and round, and you work out, or you surf better, so you work out harder. So you surf better, you work out harder, and you Trick to that is you have to have something that gives results fast in that 1 to 2 week period where you're relying on the willpower, and then you can get on that flywheel. Super important stuff. Now this system, I want to give it to you for free. I've helped thousands of surfers every year. We're in 50 plus countries now, which is insane, it makes me so excited, because we're really contacting people that want to meet it. But I feel like I haven't been pushing it hard enough, because when people give me those messages saying they changed their health, they're back surfing, and they just like are overwhelmed with joy, because having lost surfing and getting back is the best feeling. I can attest to that. But I feel like there's so many people out there that haven't reached yet, and you're probably one of them if you're still listening to this video. So I want to make sure I get these in your hands. So I'm going to send them to you for free. I'm going to pay for the bands. I'll pay for the manufacturing. I'll pay for the shipping. You don't got to commit anything. All you got to do is try my training platform. So you get 30 days free of my platform. It's got the paddle string system, which you'll own for life, because you have these and you have the videos for life, whether you decide to stay or not. We also get the nutrition, the breath training, all the workouts, the stretches, the injury prevention, everything that we do here at Hydro Mind. You can have it all for free for 30 days. And if you decide to stay, then you can choose whether you want to start to invest in your surfing, your health, and all that stuff. Whether you decide to stay or not, you keep these no matter what, as my gift to you. So that's my effort to reach all the people who need to be reached. So a little vote of confidence that you can have whether or not this works. If I were to spend the money up front to give these away and my systems didn't work, I'd go broke quick. But this has been going on for a long time, and things have never been better. Hydromind is growing like crazy. We're helping tons and tons of surfers, and I want to make sure you're one of them. So don't take my word for it that this stuff is great. Feel the difference that it makes. So you can contact me in any way, direct message, email, comment in this video. I can give you the link to get these bands for free. Like I said, no financial commitment. I only want you to be a part of our programs and be part of our community after you get results that I claim. So that's all I want from you. All I want you is surfing better, catching more waves, being in better health, and then being a positive influence to the people around you as well. Through surfing, we're all gonna be stronger, we're all gonna be better. That's all I want here. So my name is Kyle Russ with Hydromind. Make sure you message me, get your free paddle strength system so you can transition and start the best surfing years of your life. So talk to you soon.